friends and friendship, joy and happiness. When generations talk, the memory lingers on. Good evening and welcome to a new edition of Generation Talk, and this evening we will discuss the topic of language, specifically the Arabic language. Language, as we know, is the repository of our culture. It is the vehicle whereby we express our thoughts and relate our experiences. In fact, it is the vehicle whereby we think. Englishmen think in English, French think in French, Italians think in Italian, Aborigines think in Aboriginal language, and Egyptians think in Arabic. Or do they? The Arabic language, it is being said, and a lot of is being written about it, is endangered. We no longer are masters of that extremely rich, powerful language, as it was the one. Well, it is well known that the Arabic language is one of the wealthiest languages that exists. Yesteryear, people reveled in just simply reading or listening to proto-recitations, to reading the works of people like Manfaluti, simply for the linguistic beauty of the exercise. But today, you'll have the average graduate coming out of university unable to write a simple letter in Arabic. How is this so? What's happened? What happened to the Arabic language? What can we do to save this vehicle whereby the entire Arab heritage is held within this vehicle, the Arabic language? Our entire heritage is endangered because we no longer master this heritage. It's very much like if you use a car to go from A to B. If you cannot drive the car, if you are no longer not a master of driving the car, you will never get from A to B. Similarly, it goes with language. Language is the vehicle whereby we think, we express ourselves. If we are not masters of that language, how can we think, let alone express ourselves? Well, let's get down to business and let me introduce my guests. My main guest on my left is Ambassador Jamaal Biyoomi, Secretary General of the Arab Investors Union and an old friend. But Ambassador Jamaal is not here in his capacity as Secretary General of the Arab Investors Union. He is here simply as a lover of the Arabic language. Ambassador Biyoomi, kullu sana wa tayyib, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
My panel of young guests on my right, Ahmed, Noha, and Sharif. Thank you for coming. And let's first ask Ambassador Biyoomi. You were brought up, you were nurtured, you were in fact with mother's milk you were given the Arabic language. It's part of your system. It's almost part of your immune system. It is well known that when a child is born, the first milk that comes out is what develops his immune system. Arabic has been fed to you and your generation very much in that same way. Tell us the experiences that you had living the Arabic language, growing up with the Arabic language.
You start knowing the Arabic language before writing or reading by learning Quran. Mm-hmm. Then you start from the right beginning. And I remember in Damietta, our house was surrounded with 2 schools for children before the primary school.
Yes.
We cannot say that it is kindergarten in our language now, but it was especially designed to make young children learn Quran. And they were very tough about us reading Quran in the correct way.
And this started at the age of what, about 4 or 5?
Yes, 5 years old,
yes.
Then you start 6, 7 to go to primary school. Then we were surrounded by what we call sheikhs who are coming to your home to teach you in early stages Arabic language. Then you start going to the school, and the first Arabic teacher I met, it was the famous poet Tahir Abu Fasha.
Tahir Abu Fasha was your Arabic teacher at school?
Yes. He was. They were interviewing even newcomers to the primary school. They examined them in Arabic and in math and some primary education. Then we entered the school. And by that time, and still this sort of schools exist, where you have a real school with a football court, basketball court, and a closed court for winter sports. Now it is full of buildings. We had a meeting room, we have library rooms, we have plenty of rooms. There you can practice reading, you can practice listening, you can practice talking to a teacher at the level of Tahir Abu Fasha. Then he should produce a product like Farouk Shusha and people like this type of generation. Also in the school, there was the impact of the teacher. The teacher by himself is a poet. He is a man who knows what he's teaching. He loves what he's teaching. It's not a matter of being a sort of an employee of the government doing a job. It was not a job. Most of them, they were published. Saad al-Din Abdul Razak, the family Abdul Razak. The religion teaching in Arabic also. That was one of my teachers. But I remember all of them, they were people who write books and poetry, who were gathering us in a sort of small societies. We were in the society of Arabic language, where they teach us how to face audience and to speak without a text, to talk to people and to have questions, and we have debates in Arabic and so on. And it was, of course, unforgivable mistake if you talk in Arabic and you make grammar mistake in front of audiences.
Yes.
Then by yourself, I mean, nobody is telling you to study well, because you will be facing a sort of humiliation if you don't speak the language in a good manner.
This, of course, this is something that today no longer exists. This idealistic, magnificent atmosphere where you sit there in a group simply imbibing the language, appreciating its beauty, almost sipping it gently like a cool glass of water on a hot summer's day, and enjoy and feeling the effects of the language. Sharif, you studied language and you're involved in language. You've heard what Ambassador Beyumi said about his upbringing, how he was taught Arabic, how he was introduced to Arabic language by the Sheikh and the Kattab, teaching them at the early age of 5 how to recite the Quran. What are your experiences in studying the Arabic language?
Actually, I hope that you allow me to talk about Arabic language from two perspectives. First as a language, and then as in terms of Arabic linguistics and the sciences of Arabic linguistics, like grammar and the like. First, I want to say something important, that Arabic is a diglossia language. What does diglossia means?
What language?
Diglossia language. Diglossia means that you have two language varieties in a speech community. You have first a low language and a high language, each serving different social functions. One is used in formal occasions and in written speech, and the other is used in informal occasions, like the colloquial Arabic. We have such a situation in the Arabic language. The first variety is, which is the colloquial Arabic, which is now used in spoken communication. And this variety, which we call vernacular or colloquial Arabic, has witnessed considerable development because of usage, because language serves a social function. And since this variety has functioned well in society, it has developed a lot in terms of vocabulary, in terms of structures, in terms of grammar.
It picked up along the way.
Yes. The other variety, which is the written, and which is considered the standard or the high level, and some call it classic Arabic, has not witnessed such a considerable development. And this is not the fault of the language itself, but it is the fault of the users, because language is a reflection of thought, of the advancement of technology, of the advancement of knowledge. Since the users are not advanced in all these fields, of course you cannot expect from the language to develop parallel to that. So because there are certain calls that say that Arabic is the main reason why Arabs are underdeveloped. The opposite is true. It is Arabs that are the main reason why Arabic is not developed enough. The second way I want to talk about language is in terms of Arabic linguistics. We can talk about the traditional sciences like grammar. And grammar is the main topic in Arabic sciences, Arabic language sciences, since the time of Sibawayh and so far. And actually it is a traditional discipline in Arabic linguistics, because Arabic science is not just a grammar. For example, we have a science called sociolinguistics. It serves to show the social aspects of language. And this will interest people and students in language, because you need just not only memorize the rules of the textbooks of grammar. Of course, this may be boring to young kids, but if you teach a kid to, for example, analyze a song by a famous pop singer, and to know the content, to relate this content to the social reality, of course he will love the language, because he will take the language as a whole, as a social phenomenon, not just as a set of
if we take one of today's songs and ask them to develop it, I think we come up with very interesting results, I'm sure.
Yes.
No, but I also pick up a point that you raised about the language is underdeveloped, or the people who use it are under the causes of the Biomi. The classical Arabic has not developed as much as the vernacular or the Ammiya has developed.
I don't think so. I think I cannot say that Arabic is not developed because we are not developed, because the Arabic is a very rich language which can adapt itself to whatever we are creating in science and whatever things you want to use. Let me give you an opposite example with the German language. It is a very narrow-minded language. I'm sorry to say that. And it's not
I'm sure Peter and Schiller will disagree with that.
I tell you, once I went to buy gloves, and I didn't know how to translate gloves into German, and in Bonn they hate you if you don't talk German. And I didn't. I talk a little bit of German, but I didn't ask one of our German colleagues to tell me. I went from one shop to the other. I didn't know how to explain gloves or gants in French or whatever. Anyway, at the end of the day, I discovered that gloves in German language, it is hand shoe.
Hand shoe.
Yes. So can you say that it is a developed language? So the language is in good shape. We, the speakers of Arabic, we are neglecting the importance of talk our language like we should talk our language.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that because the way we are taught Arabic? I mean, you're still you're a graduate. You're going to graduate this year from the Faculty of Literature, Arts, English department. But you obviously come out of a school where you took Arabic. Was Arabic your favorite lesson or your least favorite lesson?
Really, it wasn't my favorite lesson.
Why? Tell me.
At first, I wasn't taught here at Egypt. I was taught in United Arab Emirates. So my school, most of my subjects were English. I didn't take Arabic with intensively. And so when I came here, it was a shock to me to take this amount of Arabic with. I didn't like it.
You were in a foreign school or?
Yes, I was.
In a foreign school.
Yes.
So. But where you say you were given an amount of Arabic when? I mean, when you came here, where?
It was the
you
second.
Continued your school or did you?
Yes, the second preparatory, but I think the way of teaching Arabic was completely different.
Completely different.
Yes.
This is an accusation that people do, that it's not, the fault is not the Arabic language, the way it is taught, and that there's a lot of superfluous material put into that is really not necessary. And that if we look at the rules of grammar that are used in everyday vocabulary, we can summarize them.
But this is the case in many languages where even people cannot talk good French. Even French people sometimes make mistakes in grammar. And because Arabic is a little bit complex in grammar, so we make mistakes in grammar, but we shouldn't make simple mistakes. But let me also explore your experience, because I have this experience with my daughters, because I have two daughters, and of course because we travel a lot in the Foreign Office, so they spend between 8 and 10 years of their early ages abroad. How we can do that? And Arabic was not at all in Brazil, in Romania, in Germany. It was not a language where we can find a school to teach it to our children.
Yes.
Then the family. Every Saturday, Sunday, the mother is gathering the two daughters to teach them Quran. We start always by Quran, because Quran, it has its respect, it has its impact on us. All of us, we should learn Quran. So by reading the Quran, so we start make a good knowledge of our mother language. And coming back to Egypt, I have the same experience with my daughters. We shouldn't let them just to go to school to discover that Arabic is difficult, or it's not the most favored science to be taught. So the only case I accepted lessons at school for my daughters was in Arabic, because they came from Brazil, 10 years old and 8 years old. They didn't talk Arabic at any school. They were talking Portuguese and English, and Arabic was difficult for them, especially if you want them to write it or read it. So we started intensive help at home with the sheikh again, like we practice in my generation. And it didn't take a lot of effort or a lot of time, I must say.
Sorry to interrupt you,
in
Mr.
few months we gained it.
We have a call from the Emirates, from the Arab. Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
Happy Ramadan for you all.
Thank you.
Second, you are talking about a very interesting subject, in fact, which I meet as a professional one in the field.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hear me?
Yes, very well.
Yeah. Really, I'm living in the United Arab Emirates, and in the United Arab Emirates, many people speak English here, and the Arabic is too much little, So even you can find so many mistakes in writing Arabic, because we have many nationalities here. Yesterday I have experienced someone. You follow me?
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot get you.
Okay.
I experienced the feeling yesterday. He was in a meeting with someone whose nationality is English, in fact, and she is learning Arabic. And she told me that Arabic is the most difficult language I have ever met. She speaks German, she speaks Polish, she speaks Russian, and she told me that Arabic is the most difficult language she has ever met. You know why? She told me, you have the letters in a very strange way. Letters, the Arabic letters, sometimes you get in Arabic, in Arabic. You have it to join from here, and you got it from there, and sometimes I find it with, as we say, alif. So I find, because it has so many movements, our language, Arabic, because it is a rich language, of course. So she told me, as you find difficulty in learning English, we find so much difficulties, or so many difficulties in learning your Arabic language. So I think, of course, taking Arabic as a second language for those who speak English is too much difficult unless you can support your ideas and you support your teaching Arabic a very specialized staff who can be able to reach the message of teaching Arabic. This is what I'd like to say about learning Arabic.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you
for calling. Well, this is the point. Yet, where in the Emirates, for English is the predominant language. That is true? Is English is the predominant? And this is the danger now. That how, this lady who says Arabic is very difficult. I'm sure it's not more difficult than Chinese or Japanese or
But we shouldn't be impressed by a foreigner telling us that Arabic is difficult for him. The lady knows German, French, English. Then Arabic is difficult for her because, after all, it is not the Latin letter. For them, it is difficult. For us, it shouldn't be.
Yes.
For us, we can say easily that English is easier than French, and sometimes some people would find the contrary. But I don't think that Arabs should say that Arabic is very difficult for Arabs. But a foreigner who does not use our letters, then of course it would be a difficulty for him.
Yes.
But I am provoked by what is happening in some Arab countries, where you go to a conference and then the dominant language is English or French. It is a fashion now in Cairo, because I attend a lot of seminars and conferences and workshops. It is nice when you have some foreigners to talk their language, because we want to communicate. But in many conferences where we want to sell a product, which is a certain policy or a certain consensus among us, if we talk to Egyptians, we must talk in Arabic. We must use our own language.
Yes. Because you will never find an Englishman put in a word of Arabic in the middle of his sentence.
Yes.
Well, we have another caller. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Miriam.
Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine.
Well, I was born in Egypt, but I grew up in California in America, and my mom and my dad taught me Arabic, but I know how to speak the common Arabic, but my Arabic is kind of bad, and not a lot of people understand my Arabic, but I think Arabic has different forms, and but there's in Arabic it's kind of hard.
Sorry, you got cut off.
Wait, no, that's for my phone. I have another line.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
But I was saying that Arabic's a hard language. I want to learn how to read and write, but it's really hard. I learned how to talk, but to write and read it's difficult.
Okay. Thank you. We're getting this thing that we like the language, but it's really hard. Ahmed, we haven't heard you.
Yes.
Arabic is hard. Is it? Ambassador Beyumi pointed out, of course, a non-Arabic speaker would say Arabic is hard, but as Arabs, would we say Arabic is hard?
No, of course not, because the difficulty of language is something that is relative. You know, I am a foreigner regarding another language, so it is difficult for me. Arabic is difficult for someone who's English, French, whatever.
Yes.
So the problem is with the way how we teach Arabic, whether for Egyptians or speakers of Arabic, regional speakers of Arabic, or the foreigners who are learning Arabic. So we don't have to change our language or to simplify our language for the sake of foreigners who want to learn Arabic.
But there is a demand to simplify it for the sake of Arabs to speak Arabic. This is the
Let me forget something all the time.
Yes.
I want to add here that people are much different in their linguistic abilities, in their inborn linguistic talents and endowments, of course. And so when someone says that Arabic is very difficult, I don't take what he says for granted that Arabic is difficult. Maybe he is not well endowed with the language.
No, but when you find that the majority, and I'll be safe to say the majority of university graduates are incapable of writing a letter without a mistake, then there is a problem.
There is a problem in teaching
not necessarily,
Arabic, not in Arabic.
Teaching Arabic, exactly, yes.
I must say that.
Definitely.
And we shouldn't accept something like the lady was saying, a young generation coming to us saying Arabic is difficult, I'm not going to learn Arabic. What about algebra or math? It is very difficult to me, but I have to learn it.
Exactly.
So we have to take this challenge. And if I may give her an advice, because I have two daughters where they started 10 years of their life, not in any school which teach Arabic, and we started that at home, whether in Brazil or Germany or in Egypt. Then my experience in Germany, especially because Niveen, my younger daughter, was started in Germany 13 years old. Shirin came 2 years later. So they spent 2 years and 4 years there. Yeah. I realized that both of them, they love reading.
Yeah.
So of course their lovely language was in English. But I started to introduce to them Tawfiq Hakim, whose Arabic is very light, and it's almost the dialect. It's he's writing in a way where you can read it in classic language or in the dialect one. Naguib Mahfouz is simple Arabic, and I went to Yusuf al-Sibai, and she fell in love with Yusuf al-Sibai, his sort of stories, Inni Rahila. And Niveen has this experience where she started to translate a part of Inni Rahila in English. And she won some grades in her school, and then she continued reading Arabic. If you read and continue reading, then you get acquainted with the language, and then you became in a better situation. You cannot just say it is difficult and you refuse it. It is your own language where you must talk it.
No, do you read Arabic? Do you pick up an Arabic novel and read it?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yes.
Ahmed?
I try to read a lot.
You try to read?
Yes.
No, you say you try to read, I mean you succeed in reading a lot, or I mean do you read a lot?
Not so much with 2 children and a wife.
Yeah.
I try to read at least for half an hour a day.
A novel or what? What kind
whatsoever.
of? Whatever.
A newspaper, a small book, a large book.
Yes.
To keep in touch with language, my mother tongue.
Sharif, you are a professional in the language. You
Yes,
work with the language. But how
yes.
much time do you spend reading just for the love of, not looking at it from a professional?
Yes, I remember when I was in preparatory school, I used to read classic Arabic words like Antara ibn Shaddad, the original work, and I used to read all the works, all Al-Aqad works. I read them all in my preparatory and secondary school stages. So the love of reading is something which has nothing to do with the prevailing educational status or the social circumstances. It is something you are endowed with, I think so.
Reading is very important.
Yes.
Reading is very important, especially reading stories and where you have a rich language. I myself, I feel, because I read a lot in economics and in politics, you know, the language which you are writing, which we are using in economics, it's different from this language which you are using in novels. I realize that whenever I don't read novels, when I want to write a speech, then I feel deteriorated a little bit. So we have to keep contact with different sort of Arabic.
I think this is a fitting time to point a very large accusing finger to the media. To the media and specifically television. I mean, we are on television, but
Yes.
And the media has not helped in furthering the cause of the correct Arabic language. You find a lot of the, most of the language is the vernacular. The Arabic language as such, very few programs are devoted to the heritage of the language itself, but mainly it's all very light vernacular programs. Ambassador Beyumi, do you feel that the media can have a big role to resurrect the
Absolutely. I remember when I was in Alexandria University, we have program 2, the second program, where we were using...
That's on the radio, that's it, yeah.
The radio.
Yes.
I love that, because television was not yet invented or broadcasting from Egypt. And I remember listening to theater plays in classic Arabic, Shakespeare in Arabic, international novels in Arabic, beautiful pieces. And to follow this, then you are following a sort of a lesson. And that was very important. But the mass media can help us. Read any newspaper and you will see disasters sometime about knowledge and about how to write Arabic also. But still, I think the main problem is the process of teaching. There must be a problem there. I don't know I'm not very close to the educational system, but I can tell you, because I am at the end of the way of receiving those who are talking Arabic. I have two experiences here. One, because I read the papers for those who are coming to admit to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I tell you that a graduate may make a grammar mistake, but a spelling mistake. I wrote an article saying what happened to the letter illa. What happened to the letter illa? Illa, they write it with double L. 90%, not one or two, 90% of our new generation wrote to us, and I'm talking about 1,000 graduates coming to the Foreign Office. We take 30 after all. Every year we need 30. But I read 1,000 papers, 90% of them, I made this calculation, are writing illa, alif, lam, lam, alif. And I can give you plenty of examples like that. Now, reading some exams in the Cairo University, because I'm teaching negotiations in Cairo University, and this is not only a graduate, this is a man or a lady who is applying for PhD and still making mistakes in spelling, my goodness. So there must be some problems in the teaching process. Then, for my wonder, those who write a good handwriting and good spelling and good Arabic, they fail because they do not give us the science itself, the economy itself. They are bad in economy.
So, but they're good at the language. They write good language and good Arabic.
They have good language, but not good science.
Yes, see if you're going to say.
Just I want to go back to His Excellency Ambassador Jamal. The point about language development. Actually, what I mean exactly by the fact that language has not been the written language variety has not been developed enough. I mean, in the first place, in terms of the lexical gaps in the language. We did not fill in the lexical gaps in our language due to the advancement in technology and civilization. And this is mainly the duty of Arab lexicographers, which are very lagging behind in this field. So more lexicography research should bridge these gaps by finding words in Arabic that are equivalent to the words used in technology, not just by transliterating these words that come from the English language and other languages.
Devising a word specifically for that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. This is one thing. And also, there is not adequate research in our lexicography itself on the level of meaning, not devising new words, but on the level of meanings that already exist. Our language is very rich in meaning, but there is no one Arabic dictionary that explores these meanings. Allow me just to give you a simple example. For example, the Oxford Dictionary has 29 meanings for the verb see. I made a survey of these meanings. I found that 20 of these verbs exist in Arabic, but not a single Arabic dictionary has recorded even 10 of them. I'll give you an example. We have, for example, see in English, meaning you see to just use the eyes to see as a non-volition act, and the see meaning watch. In Arabic we have the same. You can say araka, I see you, or yes, araka, هل رأيت الفيلم? Did you see the film? Meaning you watch the film. Here yara means watch, but is there an Arabic dictionary which stipulates that here yara means yushahid or means no? So we have a treasure, and as a lexicographer, I've been working in computational lexicography for 14 years now. I can give you millions of examples of that, but I hope that there is one institution that can undertake such a